Previously on the Dice Girls.
My first question is, do your friends know that you're a changeling?
No, they do not know.
Is there a reason for that?
Not really anymore. I trust them now.
My name's Hector, and that over there is Bastion. You see this beautiful, intricate, clockwork horse. Welcome to my wagon of trinkets.
Ooh, trinkets.
Guile kind of leads the way to the church. You see a triangular symbol on the door that none of you really recognize, and it looks a little bit newer. That's the tiefling symbol for Asmodeus. He's the king of demons, guys.
What ho? Are you closed?
My name is Carmos. How did you hear about us?
Does Rhakna have a plan to get a gnome to Carmos? Can they do it in less than 5 days? And most importantly, was there a gnome factory in Star Wars? You're about to find out. With sugar and spice and a roll of the dice, you're listening to The Dice Girls.
What the heck was that, Rhakna?
If you can bring me a gnome within the next week, I will believe that you are ready to serve our purpose, and if not, Asmodeus help you.
Quick question, how long did it take for us to get here from...
A day.
We'll do it in 5.
I think everyone just had a moment.
Yeah, I hated saying it.
Carmos smirks at you. All the better. Well, you best be off then. You have 5 days to find me a gnome. Good luck, I know there's none in Timbertide.
So we leave, right?
Yeah, we're out of here.
What the heck was that, Rhakna?
5 days, dude? What are we gonna do?
Look, our story was real shaky.
Yeah,
thanks to you.
Did you have anything better?
He wouldn't listen to me.
We're like way far away.
You're on a new scene.
We're right outside of his office.
We're still sitting there.
I can hear you guys. No, you have left the church. In fact, you guys probably headed back towards that small park.
Isn't there a lake?
There is.
Triggus goes running, full bore, dives into the lake, pops up with 2 fish in his hands, comes running up. I have brought us lunch. Is anyone hungry?
Triggus, we don't eat raw fish.
You should try it.
We could probably die.
Triggus just invented sushi.
Yeah. Anyone have any rice?
Hey, quick question. We didn't ask him if he wanted the gnome dead or alive. I just assumed dead.
I just assumed, like, torture.
I did not ask him.
I just assumed dead. I was gonna figure we were gonna bring him a dead one.
You promised him a dead gnome in 5 days?
We just go to the gnome cemetery.
Yeah, pretty much.
The gnometary. I have a shovel in my backpack.
I mean, we didn't tell him if we bring him a dead or alive one.
Dudes, don't you think that if we bring him a dead one, he might just, we don't know what they're doing with these gnomes. He might not have any use for a dead one. Plus, I don't really like the idea of carting around a dead gnome.
Well, no.
Just saying. How would we even do that?
It'd be a lot easier than bringing him a sacrifice.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought process, really, was that it'd be easier to find someone who was already dead than to choose someone to bring back to him.
Maybe, but, Talon kind of looks at Guile before he speaks, and he thinks about it for a minute. Maybe, dudes, but, we know some pretty fierce gnomes, and you get the impression that Guile doesn't know about the gnome resistance.
Is there any way?
We need a ninja gnome. Can we find a ninja gnome?
I was thinking a fake gnome.
Oh, too bad we don't know a changeling.
Yeah, and we really don't know any changelings who turn into gnomes.
Well, I mean, we've got 5 days. Maybe we should go recollect our thoughts in Narstad. Maybe we can find some helpful resources there.
We have a better chance of finding gnomes there than here.
That's probably our best option.
Guile kind of nods and says, well, you guys come find me when you come back to town, because frankly, I want to see how this goes. I'm a little scared for y'all.
I'm sorry if this has any kind of negative consequences for you. Thank you for sticking your neck out for us.
My uncle's just going to be happy that I went to church today.
Well, we need to hit the road as soon as possible.
Let's go, dudes. Thanks, Guile, for everything. We'll hit you up when we come back. And they give each other another quick hug. And Guile turns and starts headed back towards his place. And you all prepare to leave Timbertide. And again, it's a day's journey. It's still probably pretty early in the morning. You weren't at the church for a super long time. It felt like forever. Because you were terrified. You're headed back towards Narstad. And along the way, you see someone kind of off to the side of the road. It's like a caravan wagon, and it's red, and there is at the front of it a clockwork horse.
Yeah, we're going to see Hector.
Oh, but her eyes.
Oh no. Hogwarts gonna be so upset with us. Triggus runs towards him and then wraps his arms around him and gives him a hug.
He kind of like, poof, and he kind of like, he hugs you back, and he's laughing. Hey, Triggus, it's good to see ya.
Hello.
What happened to you guys?
It's a long story.
And it's kind of a secret.
It's not as bad as it looks.
Okay, well, all right, that's fair. It's so good to see you guys, though. I'm happy to run into you again. What have you? Well, can I ask is that a secret? What have you been up to lately?
Oh, we've been doing a lot of things.
Traveling mostly.
Yeah.
Me too. I when we last ran into each other, I was headed south. I made it to Adoran and stayed there for a little while. I was gonna go even further south, but I've heard some pretty gnarly natural disasters going on south of Adoran, so I thought I'd start headed back up this way, and business has been good. So I'm glad to see you guys. And Bastion kind of like turns and like mechanically whinnies at you. And you guys want another trinket from my?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And he looks at Talon, and Talon has kind of been standing back this whole time, and he's like, you too, young man, would you like a trinket? And Talon's eyes light up, and he's like, yeah, dude, I want one so bad.
Talon, you might get a rock that smells of fish.
Or I might get something else, dude.
Yes.
And Hector goes inside, and he comes back out with the box that he has that has all the little trinket bags in it. Kim's already rolling. All right, hang on. Let me find this. Let me pull up this trinket chart.
Don't you have to roll like a D80 or something like that?
Who wants a trinket first?
Maybe somebody else should go first, because I seem to have bad luck with trinkets.
You have the worst trinket luck. Well, Triggus, do you want your...
Yeah. I got a 7.
All right, now roll 2 d10s.
Okay. 6 and a 40.
So 46. So, Triggus, you reach into this box and you pull out a really small bag. And when you open it up, you are hit with the aroma of orange. It smells just lovely. And you reach inside and you pull out a cork. And it's a small cork that smells of orange.
You guys smell this. I have no idea what this scent is, but it's intoxicating. Rhakna, smell.
Oh, I think that's orange.
Orange.
That's a fruit.
Yeah,
It's
have you
lovely.
had an orange before?
No, I have not.
Well, it's orange.
It's both the color and a fruit.
Yeah.
Talon is laughing. He's kind of giggling. That's a good, that's a trinket, Triggus.
That's a trinket, yeah.
Who's getting their trinket next?
I'll go next.
All right, Rhakna, roll me a d12.
5.
And then roll your 2 d10s.
34.
You pull out a small bag as well. And when you open it up, you see inside a small silk coin purse. It's purple. It's really pretty. And when you pull it out, you hear jingling from inside of it. And so you open it up and you look inside and there's 3 pieces of gold in there.
Ooh, nice. flat broke and now I have 3 gold. Hey, Hector, you have anything that's worth 3 gold? This gold's burning a hole in my pocket.
Hector kind of looks at you and says, well, here's the thing about that trinket. You can't get the gold out of the purse. It's stuck in there. And sure enough, you reach in and somehow, defying all laws of physics, the gold coins will not fit through the opening of the purse.
I turn the bag upside down to try and shake them out.
They do not come out.
Can I cut them out?
The purse cannot be cut.
Can I turn the purse inside out and give you the gold that way?
You turn the purse inside out, and when you do, suddenly the coins are still on the inside. It's just like they go with it.
Hey, do you think if I add more money to it that it'll get stuck too?
You can try it if you want.
I don't know. I think this might come in handy. I pocket my unusable gold.
Yeah. And, alright, so that leaves Talon and Mara here. Go for it, Mara.
That's a 9. 80.
Mara,
I almost don't even want to know.
you pull out a small bag, and when you open it inside, there is a single tooth. It's kind of pointed, like a little bit of a round point, and it's really oddly shaped. It's not like a tooth you've ever seen before.
No.
And Hector says, I don't know what beast that is even from, but that's a tooth, my friend.
That's a tooth.
You got a tooth.
I got a tooth.
I got a dead bug, a tooth, and what else?
Triggus traded me his ring.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Alright, and Talon looks a little excited, but also now a little nervous. Talon picks a small bag, and Hector says, be careful with that one, it's a little fragile. And so Talon gingerly opens the bag, and he pulls out a small glass bird. And it's pretty cute. It's painted yellow, and Hector says, yeah, this thing's kind of cool. It's got a handy little enchantment on it, and if you set it down near water, it dips his little head in and pretends to get a drink.
Oh.
And Talon grins, and he kind of he just looks at it and he pats it on his little glass head, and he says, you are precious, dude. And he gingerly puts it into one of his pockets. And Hector says, well, I've got some stuff for sale if you guys are interested in looking at what I've got.
I'll take a look.
Oh look, but I'm broke.
Do you know what you're gonna get?
I will have the crayons, please.
So Triggus is looking at the delightful crayon box, and I'm gonna read will you read the description for us?
Yes, I will. A small green and yellow cardboard box, perfectly sized for 4 standard crayons. Should any used crayons be placed in the box, the next time the box is opened, the crayons appear sharp and brand new. I shall be on a quest for crayons.
I like
from
it.
now on.
I like
3
it a lot.
gold pieces.
Yes, absolutely, my dear friend. Please have it.
So I think I want everything else except for the coaster. I have 82 gold.
You're buying everything.
Except for the coaster.
Except for the coaster.
I don't want the coaster.
Okay.
But everything else looks like it could come in handy.
All right, Mara is stocking up.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that you're buying is the pinch of astral sea salt. It's a 1/4 teaspoon of rough, translucent, prismatic salt crystals. When added to a container of up to a gallon of salt water, it will be purified to fresh water that restores 1d4 hit points. Usable once only. And then tell us about the protective pencil box.
Okay. A small, thin wooden box with a sliding top, engraved with a seascape. The top will never open unintentionally, and no implement carried in the box will break.
The curiosity box, a small wooden chest with mother of pearl inlay. Once a day, something highly distasteful or disgusting is found in the box, unless the opener rolls a nat 20, in which case it holds a valuable gem or trinket. You're buying a lot of boxes today.
Yeah. And then next is the packet of vitamin candy owl bears. A brown paper packet containing 10 small rainbow owl bear shaped gelatin candies. Chewing too thoroughly with a glass of water causes the consumer to regain 1 extra hit die over a long rest.
And then the last thing that you're buying is the Ithacan needle. It's a 3-inch long steel needle of ordinary appearance. Any stitching done with this needle will undo itself overnight. Hector is delighted that he has sold out of stuff. My friends! Well, now that I don't have anything to sell, I get to make more. I'm so excited. Thank you. And after you guys buy Hector out of everything,
Except for his coaster.
He has a coaster. He smiles at you and says, "Well, I do hope we run into each other again soon, my friends. It's always such a nice pleasure to chat with you, and I do hope that you're able to get your eyes fixed."
Hope so too, Hector.
Oh no, Dakota, help! We're trapped in someone else's podcast.
Oh man, and there's girls everywhere, and they all have dice girls.
They're dice girls. Well, there's nothing we can do. Quick, just run the promo.
Quick.
Run it. This is the Primordial Project, an experiment in world building.
We're crafting our very own fantasy setting as well as a community that is devoted to collaborative storytelling.
Using our love for tabletop systems and an appreciation for fantasy lore, we aim to create a completely unique and diverse world.
But don't worry, we don't take ourselves too seriously. There's a whole heap of shenanigans, ridiculous voices, and occasional musical numbers.
Audience, name our dragon. I'm sick of naming stuff.
Almost in a way to go completely opposite of earthy dwarves. What if our dwarves were astrologers?
Memes were meant to be spoken on podcasts.
Hey, let's go do crime.
All crease, always brings peace.
I'm Ryan Land.
And I'm Dakota Brown.
And you can catch up with the story so far by listening to our episode, The First Age Recaptured. And then, join us every Monday as we continue crafting our world from its primordial beginnings to an apocalyptic end.
Find us anywhere podcasts are found. Don't forget your pants and shoes.
Hi Dicelings, it's Becca, your Dice Girls DM here with another solo. I know I literally just talked to you a week ago, but so much has happened in a single week. I'm going to try and be super quick about it so we can get back to the show. First, I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to Shell, who is not only our newest patron on Patreon, but I got to meet and hang out with Shell while I was in Seattle for PodCon, and it was a fantastic time. Super fun. Speaking of PodCon, it was absolutely amazing. I posted all over Twitter about it under the Dice Girls if you'd like to read about it. More exciting things that have happened. I've been working with a lot of other podcasts and streamers lately. It's been super exciting. I recorded an episode of Across the Plains with Jamie from Guardians of the Multiverse and Sarah from Sacrosanct RP. I'll tweet about it as soon as it comes out. It's going to be really good. You guys are definitely going to want to listen to it. I also recorded my first one shot that I DM'd on Scraticus Academy, and I had a blast. I took the party members on a Clue-esque whodunit through the town of Bahaha, which we also talked about it on Twitter. You can find the links on our Twitter to that as well. And then finally, I recorded with Fate and the Fable Maidens as an NPC who's going to appear in their episode number 22. It was an absolutely fantastic time. I'm so honored to be on their show. Also, we'll be posting about that on Twitter when it comes out. So really the gist of this whole message is follow us on Twitter. A lot of things happen over there all the time. It's at the Dice Girls on Twitter. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to everyone who's been tweeting about the show. We really appreciate it. We couldn't grow in the way that we've grown without your support and without you guys sharing our show with other people. So thank you so much. And on that note, we're going to get back to it.
Hector, do you make everything that you sell?
I do, yeah. Well, some of the things I find, or trade for, or buy along the way. Most of the things that I sell, I make myself.
Can you make a gnome?
Well, I can't make a living. I mean, Bastion here is not technically alive, but I could make probably a clockwork gnome.
Would that work?
No.
Well, yeah, we can tell the horse is clockwork, so they'd be able to tell the gnome is clockwork. We'd have to be able to put some kind of disguise on it.
I have disguises.
Oh my god! You have a disguise kit and a costume
Yes, I do.
kit, or 2 costumes or something.
I'm worried about this plan.
Well, my friends, I think it is possible for me to make at least a clockwork gnome. I gotta tell you, Bastion here took me about a solid week to make and about 1,000 gold pieces worth of materials.
Okay.
So if that's something that you're willing to do, I'm sure willing to help you out.
Oh,
A gnome is much smaller, right? You could probably bust that out real fast.
A gnome is smaller, but I would guess making it realistic, which I'm assuming you would like, would also need some intricacies.
and it would have to smell.
I think we're just gonna table this for now.
We don't have a week.
Or 1,000 gold.
Well, maybe we could,
Rob a bank.
rob a bank.
Spend the next 5 days, performing furiously.
He's performing, I'm robbing stuff. You're in your priest vestments collecting.
A very productive week. But, okay, well, I'll keep that in mind in the future if you still want a gnome. And he seems a little unsure, but he likes you guys, so he's willing to roll with it.
We don't have a week. Is there any way you could make one faster than that?
Well, it would take me about 8 hours of work a day over a week, so if I worked longer days, I could maybe do it in a shorter amount of time, but I gotta tell you that raises my price a little bit because getting the components last minute is gonna raise their prices as well.
Are you gonna be in the area for a while?
I'll be sticking around here for a little bit, yeah, around Timbertide and Narstad, back and forth probably.
Alright, we do not have the gold, but we may be back to ask for this favor from
Maybe
you.
our friends might have some funds.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Because we don't have any better plan than this right now. Alright, Hector, be seeing ya! We gotta run.
Bye, guys!
Bye, Hogwarts. We love you.
Goodbye, Hector.
Bye, Triggus. Bye, Mara. Bye, Rhakna. See you, Talon. The 4 of you head back to Narstad and you get back to the scuttle. And when Bilric sees you arrive, he immediately calls for a meeting. And you go to the same meeting room that you were in when you got the mark. And it's Bilric and Romulus and Verstum who are there and nobody else is around. And once you're all seated around the table, Bilric looks at you and says, "Well, how'd it go?"
We lied.
I assumed that you would have to.
Yes, we said horrible things about the little people.
It didn't go great, Bilric.
Oh.
We weren't discovered or anything, but the tieflings, they want a gnome. And we have 5 days to deliver one.
For torture?
That wasn't
We don't know.
specified.
There was a stage, so it may just be a performance that they're looking for.
Doubtful.
Doubtful.
Agreed.
Do you have a ninja gnome?
I don't believe we have any ninja gnomes at the Resistance here. Man, guys, this is a little bit of a pickle. Did you tell him that you'd bring him a gnome?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Bilric looks a little, concerned.
He really didn't trust us. I don't think there was any way we could have backed out of that without him being overly suspicious.
Well, maybe I could go.
No.
And Verstum also is shaking his head no. Rom as well. They're both shaking their heads no. And Verstum says, "Bilric, you're too important to the Resistance. We can't, if something happens to you, we need you here. We need you here."
We did come across a friend on the way back.
Yeah, we know someone who might be able to make a decoy gnome, basically, but it would cost over 1,000 gold to make it, especially in the time frame. If that's not an option, we're looking was hoping we could deliver some kind of decoy, or if someone has just some really great escaping skills. We really don't have a plan for this.
Bilric is kind of thinking about it, and he's rubbing his chin. What kind of... He can make a gnome?
Our friend, he can make a clockwork gnome.
Interesting.
And we have some disguise kits that, if we do it well enough, we might be able to fool them.
Well, it's sure an unusual plan.
My main concern is being found out before we can find anything out about them.
Yeah. I'm kind of nervous to think of what they would do to you guys if they find out this gnome that you bring in is, well, a big pile of gears.
It's better than sacrificing somebody.
Well, that's true, although we don't know it would necessarily be sacrifice. If we sent in someone who was cunning or clever or good at fighting, they might have a chance, and we don't actually know what they're doing with the gnomes. I mean, we hate to think the worst.
Maybe it would be good to send someone in to gather information.
It could be useful to have an actual, but
for all we know, he'll just immediately take them and slit their throat.
Well, I mean, there are some protections we could offer anyone who went in, but if I'm not going in, then I don't know who we could send.
What if I dressed like a gnome?
You're too tall,
You're a little tall.
Why, thank you.
Is there any other way? Some kind of... Can we enchant a mannequin? Can we... Anything to give them... To not give them somebody real?
Well, I mean, it might be worth looking into to ask your friend. It seems like that's our only option.
Do we have the money for that? Because we broke.
It would be at a great cost to us, but yes, if that's what we have to do, then that's what we'll do.
It's better than sacrificing someone.
This is like the worst plan ever.
What about, isn't there like a gnome factory? Like in Star Wars?
I'm sorry, is there a gnome factory in Star Wars?
Wait a second, what? Is there a gnome factory in Star Wars?
Are you talking about the droid
Clones?
factory?
The clones. Could we clone a gnome?
Could we clone a gnome?
Is there a store, Clone a Gnome?
Build a gnome.
Fantasy version of Build-A-Bear. Clone a gnome.
Maybe Claire could help us.
You would have to know a pretty powerful necromancer to clone a gnome. Sorry, it takes 120 days to clone.
Oh, okay. Is there like an express option?
Express shipping? I don't believe so.
It's delivered by drone.
Could we just go in and kill everybody?
It's an option if you want to go in guns blazing.
We could find out what they were doing afterwards.
Maybe we could tell them that the gnome escaped on the way.
We still wouldn't have a gnome.
I could draw a picture. With my crayons. That I haven't found yet.
Here's a picture.
I think that having a real gnome is better than having a fake one. I don't know that means that we should be taking you.
Well, I mean, who else are we gonna take?
Do you have anyone that's not very popular?
I might have a plan.
What is it, Magma?
So I have something I haven't told you. I'm not human.
What?
What? Are you a frog? Are you a cat? Are you...
It might just be easier to show you.
Okay.
So I turn into my true form.
Ooh.
Oh my... What have you done with my friend Magma? Have you eaten her? What have you done with Magma?
Triggus, it's me.
That's Magma's voice coming out of this creature. Why does she have Magma's voice? Has she eaten her?
Triggus. She's a changeling.
Verstum, Rom, and Bilric all look utterly shocked.
Oh.
Like, Bilric looks, like, pretty excited.
That he doesn't have to go.
Bilric looks excited. Versum and Romulus are just shocked.
Is Talon with us?
Yes. Oh, yes. Talon is there, too. When you changed, Talon was like, dude. Dude, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Thanks. I haven't really showed it to anyone.
Dude, can you change into anybody?
Any humanoid.
Do me.
I changed it to him.
He's delighted. He, like, comes over to you and, like, walks around a circle and is like, whoa, I look rad from the back.
Why are there two talcums? This is confusing.
Dude, this is awesome.
I changed back into my real form.
There's the thing that ate Magma.
Triggus, my real name is Kai.
Kai? I'm very confused.
Mara is an alias that I created.
But why would you lie to us?
Because most people don't take well to changelings.
But you're beautiful. Why would people not take well?
They think we're shifty and, like, we'll try to stab you in the back.
I could understand that.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think I deserve that one.
What's Rhakna's reaction to all of this?
Pretty speechless. Were you ever going to tell us?
Yes. At first it was because I didn't trust you when we first met. But now I do. I just didn't know how I could bring it up because we've known each other for months now. And the more time went by, the more I thought, how could I reveal this to them without breaking their trust?
Yeah, that must be hard.
It was for my safety. In the last town that I was in, where I grew up, there was an incident with the man who trained me, and I had to get out so that he couldn't kill me. He knows that I'm a changeling, and I couldn't be going around as Kai, because then he would know, and he would come and find me.
Verstum and Romulus are nodding, and Verstum has sat back down at this point, and he looks at you very earnestly and says, you know, we think you're great, whoever you are.
Oh my goodness.
Would you rather be called Kai, or do you want to keep going by Mara?
I haven't thought about that. I think I might, I've never really gone by Kai, so I think it might be time.
I don't know. Is it safe for you?
Before I didn't really have anybody else, but now that I've got more people, I think it might be okay.
What?
Right?
Bilric kind of grins and looks around at everyone and says, well, guys, I think we might have a plan.